This one is hit into shallow center. Gomez all over it. That does it. GCU is the WAC tournament champion once again for the third time in a row.
Welcome into the WAC softball preview. I'm Kendra Sheehan. Softball season right around the corner. We have the team picked to win this year in the preseason coaches poll. No surprise, it is Grand Canyon receiving 7 first-place votes. We have head coach Shanon Hays on here. And coach, you had a three-peat with the WAC tournament championship. You've gone to the NCAA each of the years that you've been at the helm of this program. Once again, you sit at the top of the preseason standings. Why is this the group that you have that can get back to the NCAA tournament?
Well, I'm not sure that it is, Kendra, to be honest with you. The first place votes that we received were earned from last year's team and kind of the reputation we have from that. This is a totally different group. It's nice to be recognized for our program, doing well the last couple of years, but part of the fun is trying to prove it every year, and so we definitely have something to prove this year.
How do you tell your team to block out that noise? You have some veterans that have been on this team, that have been in the position where all eyes are constantly on your team, and you're the team to beat, of course, when you go into WAC play each and every game. How do you alleviate that pressure for some of these newcomers that haven't experienced that yet?
Well, we really don't even talk about it. We just talk about trying to represent Grand Canyon and our conference in the best way possible. And every team's a new team. Every year's a new year. And so, having pride in what we do and going out and competing every day is all we talk about. We never get too far, out in front of ourselves. We just think about the next game.
Well, you did also sweep the preseason awards. You have the preseason pitcher of the year in senior righty Megan Golden. She's been a huge part of this team the last 2 years. What separates her when she gets inside that circle?
She's a great competitor. She's been through a lot of wars, pitched at a high level and traveled ball and has just always been successful. She loves to win. She loves to compete. And, she's got good stuff. We're definitely relying on her and her leadership in the circle. So, yeah, having a kid like Meg and also Emily Darwin, who's a senior as well, 2 proven arms, in the circle for us. We're definitely going to count on them and their leadership.
The preseason player of the year goes to Savannah Kirk. She was our WAC freshman of the year last year. What leaps and bounds do you anticipate her making in year 2 of her collegiate journey?
Well, it'd be hard to have leaps and bounds improvement for her. She was so good last year. She almost hit 400. She's such a talent, such a competitor. Definitely will be the engine at the top of our lineup. And so, as long as she can stay healthy and do what she does, she's going to help set the table for those middle of the lineup girls. And so we're really counting on her. And we've got Sid McRae, who's also a super speed kid that we brought in, a JC kid. Hopefully those 2 kids in the 1 and 2 spot will cause problems.
You have 8 freshmen on the lineup this year. What do you like about some of this new talent that you went out and recruited to bring to GCU? Well,
it's exactly what you said. It's talent and kids that had good falls for us. That freshman class was a huge recruiting class and for our future. So, we're counting those kids to plug in some holes, from the 8 big-time seniors that we lost last year. But, we're still counting on our older girls to lead the way. Micaiah Gomez is probably, one of our top players and top leaders and will hit probably in the 3 hole for us. And those freshmen seeing people like Savannah and MK play and lead and play the game the right way has been really important for us.
And, of course, you also went out into the transfer portal. You brought in some talent, Tinley Lucas, Maggie Place, Mia Weckel, just to name a few. What were you looking for in some of those recruits to fill some of those holes of those 8 seniors that you did lose?
Well, Tinley was with us last year. She was a freshman for us last year, but Mia Weckel will be in the outfield for us, probably play center or left field. Speed kid, a 5th-year kid that played at Yavapai Community College with Lovey Kapa'a, our third baseman, and then Emily Darwin was at Yavapai as well. So she was a familiar face for us. We knew her, and then of course Emily, being a two-time all-conference player, being fortunate enough to get her in our program. She's such a mature hitter for us. And back to Tinley, behind the plate, we feel like she's one of the better catchers in the whole country. So, having that kind of older talent to go with the new kids that you had alluded to earlier, hopefully will help us, have some depth and consistency to our lineup.
And obviously pitching such a big deal in softball. You mentioned the two strong returners that you have. What do you like about some of the other pitchers on your staff that maybe are coming into their own and starting to prove themselves as well, with great veterans to look up to and learn from?
Well, you had mentioned Maggie Place, and we've known Maggie for a long time, a transfer from Oklahoma Baptist who's a sophomore and had a great freshman year there at OBU, and she had pitched for a former pitching coach of mine, Sam Maples, who retired to have a family, but Maggie's just somebody that's going to get a lot of innings for us. She moves the ball left and right, up and down, great spin pitcher, super competitor. So we're expecting a lot of innings from her. And then we have freshman Oakley Vickers, lefty. We haven't had a lefty since I've been here. So we're excited about her and her talent. And then we returned Taryn Batterton, who was with us 2 years ago. She went to junior college to get some innings with all the seniors that we had last year. She's come back better than ever, and she's going to be an important part for us as well. So having some depth in the circle is hopefully what we'll get this year if we can keep them healthy.
You mentioned that you hadn't had a lefty pitcher. Was that something that you were seeking? I mean, I know you can't just place, hey, I'm only looking for lefties, but with the right fit situation, the right fit happens to be lefty, a no-brainer and a bonus?
Well, yeah, you said it. I mean, we've always wanted one. My old pitching coach, Mary Beth, she always wanted a lefty and Sandra, my other assistant, we talked all the time about hey, if we can add a little diversity as far as, facing good lefties late in the game. But you've got to get the right lefty, and Oakley was a kid that we were familiar with and had some friends already on our team, and we were lucky to pick her up. So, yeah, having her for 4 years is something that's exciting for us to think about.
And how about this? 2 Hayes on the coaching staff this year. You bring in your son as an assistant coach, Hunter. Tell me a little bit more about why this was the perfect place and perfect time to bring him over to Phoenix and on your coaching staff.
Well, I don't know if it was the perfect time to bring him in, but his mother thought it was. And so that's a big deal for us. It would have been smarter to bring him in last year with the 8 seniors that we had. But no, he's somebody, we lost Sydney Sherrill, who was my infielders coach last year and did such a great job for us. And so wanting to get somebody that knew how I wanted things done. And of course, he's been raised around that, and having somebody that can work with our infielders and not reteach what I want done. Hunter was the guy to bring in for that, and he did a great job at North Texas and Oklahoma Christian before that. So, yeah, he was somebody that I also wanted to come in and help work with our hitters. So that familiarity obviously was something I was looking for, and so he made it pretty easy.
What has it been like working with your son, that father-son dynamic where you got softball and then you got family outside of that? How do you balance the two? What's kind of been the best part of that?
Well, just the trust factor. You know what you're getting. Hopefully, he does as well. And I had the opportunity to work for a short time with my own father, who's now at Colorado Christian, and he helped me when I was coaching at Lubbock Christian, and my brother's a coach as well. And so it's kind of something that's always been in the families since I was a little kid. So it kind of just seems natural. But, besides bringing in Hunter, we also brought in Kat Frakes, who was a pitching coach at Nichols. And I think she's a very bright star and has a bright future as far as the pitching coach. She did a great job at Nichols and helped J. Lou turned that program around there, and then Jamie Bailey came over from Virginia Tech. And she works with our hitters as well and our corner infielders, and so we have three new ones to go with the older faction with Sandra Wente and myself. So we feel like it's a pretty good mix, and it's been fun so far.
You've scheduled a tough competitive schedule for 2025. You're playing 4 teams that were in the top 30 RPI last year. What was your goal with this schedule to get this team ready for conference play and potentially another run?
Well, I blame that on Sandra Wente. I said, Sandra, we need a schedule that will fit this team. And she just went out and scheduled Florida and Oregon and Arizona State and people like that because she knows what we need to help get us ready. And so, that's what we've done. Hopefully, is had a pre-conference schedule that'll get us ready for the WAC. The WAC I feel like is really going to be good this year. We've got so many really good coaches in the WAC, and so I think this is going to be the toughest year ever to compete in the WAC for us. So we want to be ready, and we also want to give our fans and students some exciting games with some big names to watch pre-conference, and I think that's what we've done.
Yeah, you're bringing in a lot of great names to GCU. You've upgraded your ballpark. You're going to have a big video board as well. Tell me a little bit about some of the construction projects that's just going to go into making the game atmosphere during your softball games just even better, especially with some of these elite names coming in.
Well, the game atmosphere is big for our president and athletic director. Our ballpark is situated right in the middle of campus, and so we want to draw those students in, and adding a new big video board just helps that game atmosphere. And also, you can do so many cool things on these new video boards. And so, yeah, it's exciting. We're looking forward to seeing how it works. And it's nice to be able to try it out with all the home games that we have pre-conference. We have 5 straight, non-conference tournaments that we co-host with Arizona State. And so we'll have plenty of time to work the kinks out to get ready for conference.
Technology, amazing what they could do with those video boards, 100%. Tell me one of your favorite memories or your best story from this year of practice that maybe encompasses what this team is. Give us a little inside story.
Oh, wow. Well, it was exciting the first day we were getting ready to practice, and our administration, our media people had a video set up for the new scoreboard. So when the girls were ready to go out and practice and what they had put together for them, we intentionally practiced at night, which made it a cool atmosphere. And so it was really neat to see how they responded to that. And of course, it's always neat to respond or to see how they respond, the returners, to receiving their rings from the conference from the year before. So, those were 2 cool memories.
And I know we're looking ahead to this year, but I wanted to go back to one of your former players, Ashley Treeweiler. She became the first person from GCU to play professional softball with the Association of Fast Pitch Professionals. She's with the New York Rise. How impactful is that to have a player like that work so hard and then be able to see her dreams come true and represent Grand Canyon at the next level?
Yeah, it was awesome. And besides just being in the league, I think she ended up leading the league in hitting. She's such a phenomenal player. So, to see her kind of break through that barrier, it's something she's always wanted to do, was really cool for us. And it's something that, of course, we love to use in recruiting. And so, and she's such a phenomenal leader and competitor. I'm anxious to see what she does next year. So, yeah, it was pretty cool.
Well, Coach, thank you so much. Looking forward to softball season right around the corner. Opening day Thursday, February 6th. Well, you'll have a doubleheader at home against Northern Illinois. Best of luck, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Kendra.